In solo leveling, Sungwoo is given a chance to level up in his everyday life. Imagine if we could do that in real life. We could actually just get this little thing that goes, hey, here's what you need to do. And by doing that, you continue moving forward, getting stronger, and living out the greatest fantasies that are available to you. Well, the thing is, you kind of can. We can actually look at what's happening in solo leveling and take elements from it to apply to real life. We can start having our own system that tells us what we need to do on a given day in order to level up, in order to get better and become the heroes that we want to be. Now, in our lives, most of us are barely even rank E. We are not even hunters. We are just simply people doing the things. We haven't awoken in any regard. Yet some of us start to get that spark. Some of us start to go, hey, I can do something. And that's when the awakening happens for us. It's when we start going, I have the possibility of being more. Now, some of us get that really early and start to really just churn through it all. And that puts us at the S rank. But others, like you and me, kind of may get it a little bit later. May struggle to find that spark that actually tells them, here we go. And that's kind of why I'm making this video, because it's been a little bit of a challenge for me to get into this state, but now I am here and I'm going to help you by going through how Sungwoo's system is easily replicatable in real life and how you can start applying it to your real life as well to actually start achieving what you want to achieve. Now, the first thing that I wanted to bring up is the idea of habits. Yes, you hear about this all the time, especially with New Year's resolutions. Everyone goes, I want to have better habits in my life. And yes, habits are an amazing thing. They are crucial in any level of success, but when you start to think about them as topics rather than achievements, it starts to become a little bit of a gray zone. If you go, my habit is to get better every day. Well, it's an idea, it's a concept, it's intangible, you can't do anything about it. But when you start looking at the system that Sungwoo gets, he gets a thing every day, and it says an amount of tasks that he needs to get done. Every day, he is given a quest, or sets of tasks that he needs to complete. If he completes them, he gets a reward. He gets better experience. He overall starts leveling up a lot quicker. But if he doesn't do them, well, he gets sent to this other world as a large looming threat of these monsters that will kill him if he doesn't continue running non-stop for however long he's there. Now, thankfully, we don't have to deal with these monsters in real life. We don't have to worry about the actual life and death consequences of not doing a habit each day. But we can still use the element of gamification of being able to define a task and then give two options. Either you complete it and get a reward, or you do not complete it and you get a punishment. This simple carrot and stick mentality is something that's very deep-seated in the human psychology. Whenever we do something, we either expect a reward or we're running away from being punished. And when you acknowledge this, you can actually start to motivate yourself really well. In any given day, if you do not do the habits that you outline, well, what happens? Do you get punishment? Most times the answer is no, and that's why we give up on our habits, because we do not have an idea of what could happen if we don't do them. We just go, life won't change. So, if you can artificially create a punishment for yourself, then that's going to motivate you so much more to get things done. Likewise, when you start to define the actual rewards you get from it in a given day, it can really start to fuel your ambition to continue doing these things. Personally, I've created a real-life RPG system. It's one of the previous videos on this channel. Basically, I've turned my life into a video game. I've done all my habits and tasks, put them into a system that gives me experience, helps me level up, goals, rewards, punishment, fights, all of these aspects that turn life into a video game. So if that sounds of interest to you, there's a link in the description below that will show you that whole video. And moving on to the next aspect of how I love Sungwoo's system is that it actually gives him binary state results. And what I mean by this is when these habits and these daily quests are given to him, it's not, oh, go and do push-ups. It's go and do 100. It is a very clear line that he can define whether or not he has done it. For if he has done 99 push-ups, it does not count. He has not completed. But if he does 100, then he has completed. When we start to think about our tasks and habits in this sort of mentality, we can really begin to define what is going to get done. If we go, oh, I want to go for a run every day. Okay, cool. How far is that? Is it 2 steps or 2 kilometers? Once you define the actual end zone, you can start figuring out what you need to get done in order to get there. And if it's an efforts-based approach, you can reward yourself based on the efforts and not the results. If you know that 100 push-ups each day is what's going to continue your momentum forward and help you level up, well then you can start defining, okay, I need to work my schedule around this amount of time because I know it usually takes me this amount of time to get 10 push-ups done, so I need to allot 10 times that amount. And you can really begin to figure out what you need to do in any given day in order to achieve this. And because of the punishment of being able to go, oh, I need to do it every single day, it is much more likely that doing that day in, day out effort, you will actually begin to make the progress towards the goals that you're working towards. And that brings me on to the next subject, because when we are looking at the system that Sungwoo uses in solo leveling, one of the big aspects is the stats that he is leveling up. Every time he completes a task, he gets a certain amount of points that he can then apply to whatever stat he so chooses. Now, I reframe this a little bit because we can't sadly just get numbers that we go, oh, I'm more intelligent now. What we can do is start to cater our actions around specific points. If we can start going, oh, I want to level up my strength, you can start doing the tasks through in relation to that. If you want to start leveling up your intelligence, you can focus more on tasks that will help you think more or understand more deeply. See, because when you start to define the areas of your life that you can begin to level up in, you can really refine your tasks to focus in on the result that you want. You'll find that a lot of the things that we're dealing with here are understanding what you want and what the result is going to be so that you can work backwards and figure out what the steps to get there are. As I mentioned before, in my real life RPG system, one thing I found lacking was that there was no real user stats for real life. There was no strength or dexterity. There was this aspect of all tasks just kind of improve you. And that's why I created the Prism system. It's 5 different stats that I found that are linked to what I want to achieve. These are perspective, relationship, intelligence, strength, and moxie. Now, all of these stats I've explained in a previous video. Again, I'm not going to go over it here, but the idea is that each of those things are an important aspect of my life that I can choose to focus on. I can choose to go, no, today this task that I really want to work towards is going to help me with my strength. No, today I'm going to be focusing on my moxie. No, today I'm going to be focusing on my relationships. And by doing that, I can really start to refine the end result that I want. Go, okay, this is the stat I need to level up at the moment. And once you start to define those things in your life, you can really begin to tailor your experience to get the results that you want as well. When we're getting to the final aspect of this whole system, and what I think makes it really effective for Sun Wu, is that this is a system that he does not need to think about. It is a thing that gets given to him every single day. And when quests pop up, they go, hey, here is a thing you could do. Would you want to go through with this? In life, this is a very invisible mentality. We get ideas of things that we want to do. We go, oh, you want to hang out on Saturday? Yeah, sure, let's go do that. But then no plans are made and therefore it doesn't actually come through. You go, oh, I have this idea for a business. I could really start making it. And then you forget about it. 6 months later, someone else has done it, made $1 billion, and you go, that was my idea. I could have done that. I am under the belief that when we are thinking about things and we do not act on them and make something out of them, it starts to ruin them. They just are ideas. They're nothing. They do not matter until you turn them into something. Everyone has ideas, and if you're not the one that's going to be using that idea for something, it's going to go to someone else. If you look at any new invention over the past millennia, it is all a mixture of ideas meet action. It is this concept of someone going, there's something there, I'm going to act on it now. Not, oh, well, I'll continue refining the idea and then eventually just, no, you need to act on it today. So you want to create a system that's actually going to reliably commit to you every single day going, hey, here are the things you need to get done. You said that you were going to get these things done. Here is what you've laid out. Get them done now. And again, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, click this video right here to see how I turned my life into a real life RPG system, and you can too. And hopefully we can all start leveling up.